And I got up to leave. And again, just like happened when they did before, they all came on me. The difference this time is that I studied Okinawa Goju-Ryu karate for 2 years, and I was a black belt now. And I wore their asses out. And I walked out of his office, and I went to my room, and I went and got that nice present that Dead L. Ron gave me, that Mini 14 assault rifle. And I had a 45. And I loaded them up. I had a banana clip. I could have killed them all 5 or 6 times each. And I went up there with those guns. And they all had come out of Miscavige's office at that point, trying to figure out what they're going to do to me. And I walked up with those guns and I said, you know, who has the power now? Who wants to challenge me now? Who has anything to say to me now? And the one person spoke up. It was Norman Starkey, South African guy. And he says, you traitor, you can't kill us all. And I said, maybe not, but your ass will be the first one to go. By this time, Miscavige is shaking. Everybody doesn't know what to do because I have the rifle on my hip and the gun like this, waving it, like, you know. And he's like, please, Jesse, please. He told everybody, get away, we didn't handle this right, please. Come on, Jesse, you know, come on, let's talk. Please put the guns away, please, please, please. You know, and I, okay. And I take my guns and I load them and I put them back in my room and we go down to, I guess, what's known as the Clipper ship now, and we have a conversation. And the conversation was, Jesse, you know that Scientology is fragmented right now. You know that it needs to come together. We've all worked too hard to build this organization. You know the struggle. I need you to go to the RPF for me, just so I can bring the group back together. Then I'll get you out and everything will be fine. Could you please just do that for me? Yeah, okay. Well, I go to the RPF, Happy Valley, you know, they used to call it the Happy Valley, the Institute for the Criminally Insane. And I went there and, you know, they really did everything they could to make me feel as uncomfortable as possible, to bring as much pressure. I mean, I could use colorful words, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Anyway, I ended up leaving, and I came back because they had my wife. Now, prior to getting in Scientology, I already had 2 kids that I wasn't raising, and now I wasn't even around to see. I had already forsaken my family, friends. People, no one even knew who I was. I had decided not one more person will I forsake for this organization. I'm not going to leave my wife there. So I came back and I stayed. But I didn't audit anymore. I let them know those days are done. I'm done being your little whipping boy to teach this technology to people. I'd rather work on grounds, shoveling dirt, than to touch that meter one more time, than to crack those crazy books one more time and read this stuff. Okay. You know, then they started the buttering up process again. And the next thing you know, I'm doing e-meter drills with Tom Cruise, you know. But one day my wife came to me and she said, you know what, I get it. Let's go. And we left. They got us back one more time after that too, but we still got out of there. And I got out and I tried my best to, they said, you know, you're supposed to get a freeloader bill, this, that, and the other thing when you go and pay back all of this money. I said, please do not waste your time trying to figure out how much money you think I owe you, because I am done with the subject. I don't care what the hell you guys do. Just let me out of here. And, you know, and eventually I got out. Well, that wasn't good enough for them. PIs following me, got me fired from my job, this, that, and the other thing, you know. There's just no satisfying these people. So in 1999, I was sitting on the internet and I was reading. And I saw some stuff from Arnie Larimer, and I saw something from a woman, Stacey Brooks, and we're speaking out, and that was unheard of. Prior to the advent of the internet, the only way to really get a broad message out was either it had to be in a newspaper or on television, and Scientology had that fixed. Because if you said anything critical of Scientology, the horde of lawyers that they're able to afford because of all of these people that I've helped them get into Scientology, because of all of these organizations that I helped them build, now they have the capacity to not only destroy me, but corporations, and put them into submission. And I said, you know what? I'm done with this now. I'm going after them. I'm going to get them. This is finished. Got together with Arnie Lerma, Bob Minton. Let's start protesting. Let's go to their organizations with signs, and let's give them the business. I don't know, you guys probably seen my first picket in Boston, especially the anonymous people here. Bob ended up going to jail, and I ended up telling one of the staff members who his real parents were. And it carried on from there. We picketed in Boston. We picketed in Los Angeles. We picketed in Washington, D.C. We went out the country and picketed. And pretty soon a groundswell started. We had so many people helping us. Well, we became the prime target of Scientology. And I'll explain how we had the Lisa McPherson Trust. We were doing our pickets. We were getting people out. We were on the same block that they were on. They were getting them in the door, and we were getting them out the door. We became primary targets, and they took us out. And I can speak more about that, but that's not the point that I'm going to make right now. They took us out, and I went through a lot of, harassment, this, that, and the other thing. And I literally went away. I stopped everything in 2002, and I just went away. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take going to my car and seeing my car door kicked in anymore, or my tires slashed, or another job rejection because Scientology has given them information about me. And I stopped. And I was pretty despondent for a long time, I'll tell you. I felt like all the work that I had done, I gotten a lot, like Mrs. Whitfield, I had done a lot of interventions, gotten people to see, I studied. I was just as good with convincing them to get out as I was getting them in, and we were doing very well. But it was a thankless job because the people that I were trying to help hadn't had enough time to get their sensibilities back. So I'd help them and they disappear. And I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done what I'm gonna do. And I stopped. And I guess it was 2008, 2009, I started looking on the internet again about the subject of Scientology. And the first thing I see is these people with these masks on, and they're giving them complete hell. There's a woman, Patricia Greenway, who is not an OSA plant, by the way, said, Jessie, you will not believe what these kids are doing. You will not believe what they're doing with these organizations now. And I started looking, and I just was so proud. Finally, I felt like I don't need to be thanked or anything, but I felt like at least one thing, something that I was doing carried forward. Somebody picked that up, and you guys did. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because when you're doing this, you're helping people like me and these other people here, and even the fools downstairs that are still doing it, wake up. Wake up. Thank you.